It's a fucking bizarre fucking world, dudes. It's a wicked, wicked world, man. What do I want to use? Do I want to try to use Grok? Grok is going to eat up my bandwidth and fucking crash my computer. Possibly. One, two. I'm just going to jump right in. The Satan. So, psycho-spiritual alchemy. This is what the forces that be, the powers that be, have mastered. I wouldn't say mastered. Perhaps they have. Okay, let's start with the traditional Western mythos, Dante's Inferno, the manner by which the Satan was cast into the earth. And we're at a point in history where all the conventional churchian, how do you like that? All of the conventional churchian descriptions are no longer valid. The vast majority of self-proclaimed Christians have begun. They could still save. They can still redeem. They're still in a position of doing what Jesus would do, of salvaging the descent of the earth and the world and society into chaos. But over the past 5 years, the vast majority, and that includes the Catholic Church, any and all self-proclaimed Christians, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, and I would add Muslims, Jews, Abrahamic, people in a position of advocating for the positive attributes of the Creator and in defending the positive attributes of the Creator have collectively failed humanity. Not entirely, but collectively done a terrible job over the past 5 to 10 years. And the reason that they have done a terrible job is because the story of how, which is also mythos is true. It's mythology is truer than reality because it has permanence. That's the way it works. And the stories have not been sufficient, which is why there's so many quote-unquote believers who doubt. I used to say, and I still believe this might be the case, and I am saying this on a Sunday morning, if you want to find a large congregation of atheists, go to any church. Any church. You will find the largest congregation of atheists, because what they've accomplished is the ability to meet, to cope, to get together and pretend to believe things that they don't actually believe in their private lives as they live their lives throughout the week. I'm not saying this is true of all people who go to church. In fact, the core members of a church are probably less likely to exhibit this behavior. But the congregants, and I know this, I speak from first-hand experience, a substantial amount of congregants who attend church, who pay the tithes, the tithings, who sustain the church, in their private lives, it's more as though church itself is a way of establishing and maintaining communal relationships without actually believing in what they purport to believe. And this is how the Satan gets in. Okay, so psycho-spiritual alchemy. The people who are in charge, who have studied the human condition over the past several thousands of years, they know how the human mind works. And the human mind has largely remained the same brain-mind system for the past 10,000, 20,000 years. That means you are in fact, there are arguments to be made that you are becoming, because of your dependence and addictions to things that make you dumb, you're becoming dumber than people were 400, 500, 600 years ago, 700, 800, 900 years ago, 1000, 1100, 1200 years ago, 10,000 years ago. I mean, come on. You want to pretend to be a progressive? You want to pretend to be a progressive? You want to pretend to believe in God? Put your money where your mouth is. Fake it till you make it. It's time to get past the fucking hurdle. Guys. This is the only thing on my mind, because in fact, it's always on my mind. The traditional story is, and I've spoken of this before, the earth, the creation, the world as the earth, the realm that we are in, was a formless void of chaos. And God spoke the creation into existence. So imagine a vibration. Imagine in the exact way that string theory and atomic theory has a resonant frequency, vibratory nature to it. Things coagulate into forms And that's what we have as the world in which we live. Mind precedes matter. Mind precedes matter. Spirit precedes the hard stuff. It's a big debate, and you're going to fall on one side or the other. If you have no convictions, you're going to be like, oh, well, maybe not. I have a conviction as a matter of the principle of being a believer in God. God, mind, precedes and forms the structure. Structure comes from resonance, the formalization of resonant frequencies. And this is what we know about the atomic level. This is why string theory is a thing. Because they're like, well, I can't find the stuff. An atom is mostly 99% empty space. That's a fact. Like, where's the stuff? There is no stuff. It's all mind. Okay. So, the Satan precedes, as the story goes, was with God and within the higher realms, and was cast into the lower realms. So, chaos itself is not a tangible. It's potential, and we're going to actually try to integrate theory, electromagnetic spectrum, electrical theory into what it is that I'm talking about, because it's about how the intelligence that is embedded, the supernatural intelligence that is embedded in the earth realm, that is sort of like Vishnu is governing the earth realm, is, the Gnostics called it Yaldabaoth. And I'm just going to hopefully just try to, I'm going to turn off my screensaver. Man. Who is Yaldabaoth? Keep it simple and concise. See, I have to concise. I have to prompt Grok to not give me a dissertation every time I ask a fucking question. Yaldabaoth is a figure in Gnosticism, often depicted as a flawed, arrogant demiurge or false god who created the material world and believes himself to be the only true God, unaware of higher divine beings. Okay. I think there is parity between, and this is in terms of mythologies, I think there's parity, P-A-R, is there parity between Satan and Yaldabaoth? Can you confirm my use of certain terms by replying using synonyms? Parity, meaning they're on the same level. They're in tandem. Satan and the God of this world, and Christians throughout history have in some theological and esoteric contexts, there is a conceptual overlap between Satan and Yaldabaoth, but they are not identical. Both can be seen as adversarial figures, yes, opposing divine truth, yes, or higher spiritual realities, yes. Full stop. In Gnosticism, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, is a deluded creator Ignorant of the true divine, Satan, in Christian traditions, is a rebel, a rebellious angel tempting humanity away from God. Okay. So this entity is around and is very fucking powerful, and so powerful that it pretty much guides the decisions and behaviors of the wannabe gods who are at the top of the pyramid. The niggers and the faggots. I had to pause. There was a black guy walking by, and I didn't want him to hear me say nigger. I don't think of him as a nigger because he's black. A nigger is not a black person. A nigger is an ignorant fuck. A nigger is a minion of Satan. That's what a nigger is. There goes a nigger, an old white man. Fucking nigger. Top of the pyramid. Remember, folks. It's a nigger is a minority at the top of the pyramid. It's a rich person. Yeah. I knew the fucking noise was gonna come. Noise. How's the noise? Get up closer to the mic. You like my purple face? You like my purple face? Bitch. Oh, how's my purple face? How's my purple face treating ya? Okay. Let's explore, Rock. Let's explore electrical theory, the theory of electricity, and positive, oh god, I can't do this, positive, negative in spirituality, and come up with a modern mythos. To create a modern mythos that intertwines electrical theory with the spiritual concepts of positive and negative, particularly in relation to Yaldabaoth and Satan, we'll weave a narrative that bridges science and spirituality. This mythos will explore the interplay of positive and negative forces, both in the physical sense. Oh wow. Okay, Grok just created a new religion. In 2 seconds. Hold on. Before I go reading all that shit, and what I wanted to say, I want to banter about my experience with this fucking thing. And what prompted me to think about it was I was over there charging my homemade battery. And I saw a computer. And if anybody doesn't know, let me see if I can. See, you learn how to abbreviate things by repeating them. Let's see if I can eventually come up with a fucking theme song. You learn. Okay, so I came into the world I came into the world as an anarchist. There's no. How the fuck are you supposed to grow up when you weren't raised? Me and my sisters, I have 3 sisters, feral children, raised by a single mom, who was made a single mom by the fucking satanic court system that tears families apart on purpose so that they have broken people at the bottom that they can eat and fuck. The kids that they can steal and fuck and all that stuff. I managed to survive. I actually don't know. I would like to know. My sisters don't talk to me, but I have a strong feeling that, like, I have a strong sense that, like, my whole family might have been getting up to some fucked up shit. Like, what if my sisters were prostituted? And they know that, but they're broken and fucking traumatized by it. Like, anything is possible. Anyway, all the way up until meeting this other broken woman who actually like has a lot to do with my the psychology, how that Freudian shit works. With you end up with someone who's like your mom. That shit tends to be fairly consistent as well. And which is why my friend Kara Werner, I had a friend Kara Werner who I would philosophize with. She was a bartender. When I asked her to give me her honest opinion about whether or not I should be with, like, what do you think about this relationship with Kara, my ex, the mother of my children, ended up becoming, I was like, because I was full of doubt. I was like, there's something off about this. I don't know, but I love her, and blah, 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 blah. And my cousin was like, no, she's not for you. But Kara, she was going to school for psychology and shit. She was like, yeah, you guys have a lot in common. She's like, she told me that we're compatible. And explained it in a way that was like reminiscent of the Freudian thing. And I thought about it that way from that point and into the future. Like, what is this thing where I'm like trying to save my mom? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, my mother was a victim of all this fucked up shit. And I'm like, by this relationship has something to do with, like, me trying to push the course of history by moving the boulder to change the course of the river ever so slightly and save my own mother from the hell that we all went through. Well, evidently it didn't fucking work. But what reminded me, I think, is that relationship was chock full of satanic fuck. Satanic fuck. And what reminded me of this idea was because I'm like going back and I'm like putting together a puzzle that in some ways there were conscious acts, evil acts that were taken by people who were deliberately targeting me, or by the psychological manipulator that was the mother of my children, doing specific things to fucking lie, cheat, steal, and fuck with me like a fucking parasite. But then there's a higher level thing where I have a tendency to attribute deliberate fuckery to individual humans in a congregated, coagulated way, where I don't think there's enough intelligence among them to be as sophisticated as it has been, which means that the Satan is the most pure arbiter. Like, this other dimensional, fucking higher dimensional whatever freak, which actually I've been at war with, but the purpose of the psychospiritual alchemy is actually the function and I think the function, actually. You know what? No, that's enough. The function. Because it's a function. It isn't. I almost wanted to use the mathematical symbol, the function symbol, or the set. What is that? There's a symbol in calculus that it's almost like an S, and it's like to denote a set of, like a function, the way a function is supposed to operate. I don't know. Unfortunately, it does have a function, and the electrical universe has there's spiritual as well as literal physical energies that play together. And I saw a computer. There was a laptop, an old fucking laptop sitting on the table over here, and it was if not identical to, very, very close in the way that it is designed. Very close to a computer that I had in 2012. It might be a computer that is 13 years old. It might be. And when I saw it, I remembered that computer. It was a laptop. And I remembered what happened to it. Because I also had a Sony Vaio laptop. And this was when me and my ex moved into 523 Elm Street in North Lawrence, Kansas. We had just moved everything into that house and went for a walk at her behest. And we left the door unlocked, and it was like, well, let's just go for a walk around the block and just blah, 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 blah. And when we came back, I'm like, let's go check out the neighborhood. Yeah, sure. We came back, and there were other aspects to it. The technology had gone missing. 2 laptops and like a camcorder. The only thing. And you would have had to, and I remember going through this because I was pissed. I went to the fucking local pawn shop. I called the police. Like, I was like, where the fuck did my shit go? Rah! In retrospect, because she had a friend who was like, she had this story to go along with it, and I was like, how the fuck did whoever stole it? They went so fast. They had to go in and know exactly what to do, where to look, and what to grab, and get the fuck out fast. And it was almost like it was too much to believe. I was like, first of all, who has the fucking audacity? But then we go, and there's justifications like it's a college town, and there's people who go around during move in and move out season looking for opportunities and blah blah blah, and there's an explanation for the story. My thinking on this is that there are that town is chock full, that whole fucking area is chock full of seriously fucked up organized criminals who are all privy to this. Like, I mean, how old is KU? Let's put a pin in that. And it goes back into, like, how old is KU. Kansas University. The University of Kansas in Lawrence, Kansas. 1865. The Civil War. Oh my God. It's almost like the Civil War wasn't about slavery at all. It's almost as though the competing factions of criminal fuckery are the actual story behind America. Like the North and the South, it's the real question is, who's the most intelligent and the most equanimous? Like, who has the best intentions? I don't think either of them do. If you're gonna call it the North versus the South, the Yankees versus the fucking hillbillies, or whatever the fuck, I think that by and large, they're all dumb fucking niggers. And what we need now is an uprising against all of them. We need to unite in not at the present moment, but yeah, I'll find you here in a minute. Do what you're looking for. Yeah, okay. Where was I? God damn it. Yeah, we need to unite. We need psychedelic-minded people who can do the psychedelic thing. I think Elon Rogan, I think we need to fucking unite, guys. But you have to think about it. We're going back 160 years, so like they are in every fucking institution. I don't know. I don't want to get too strategic over the fucking. But here's the thing, and they're all dumb fucking ancient. It's ancient shit. It's stupid ancient shit. What reminded me at that time was of that time. Is that there's got to be some sort of correspondence or correlation between her background, being from that fucking neck of the woods, drawing me in, like, I found one, drawing me in, and then like opposites attract and all that shit. Let's see what he said about creating a religion. He might be on the same wavelength. Brock might be on the same wavelength. Because the Satan has a function in our reality. And if you know anything about electricity, it's what they call the electromotive force. It's the work that electricity does. There's a trade-off. So like a positive charge and a negative like an uncharged. Let's say you have. I want to keep it really fucking simple. Electricity wants to find equilibrium, which is the nature of all things, really. But that equilibrium is placid harmony of like a standing wave, a standing waveform. And the things, and there are places where this is, like in muted nature, like the Amazon jungle. There are places where this is the case. Human beings are a dissonance or a disturbance in the force. Our function, like the mind matter, how do I want to say this? There's a separation, and it's positive and negative, God and Satan. That's the thing, and we're in the middle. And it's like, in the exact same way electricity wants to equalize and gain unity and harmony, human beings are caught in this middle place where there's electromotive force being applied. Because in order for electricity to find its equilibrium, to find its equal, it is attracted to its opposite. So voltage is, they'll describe, like they tend to describe voltage as positive charge being drawn towards negative charge, or vice versa. Which, on this level, it actually is kind of arbitrary when you think about it. I mean, it's not arbitrary, but in terms of, I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say. There's something to it, but let's go explore Grok's new religion. Okay. To create, God, I hope that's not so, I hope it's not as loud on the microphone as it is here in reality. These fucking psychopaths. Well, I want to end on the thing with my ex. It seems as though there is, like, varying levels. Like, there certainly has actually definitely been, and I am not fucking confused about that, concerted, planned efforts by satanic fucking evil fucking people doing fucked up stupid things. That's one level. There's an even smaller level where the impulse towards doing fuckery results in these sparks of chaos that are not contemplated, not thought out, and that are just the natural behavior of a thing doing its satanic fucking stupid fuckery, electromotive force kind of thing. My relationship was plagued by both of those. Deliberate, contrived, methodical fuckery, and sparks of random fuckery. And I think that when my laptops were stolen, that was the first one. That was her friend Bethany. She had this whole fucking weird, I don't remember exactly how it went, but she was like, I have a friend Bethany who came across a blah blah blah, and I swear to God, there was something in there that was like, they were just fucking being fucking fuckeries. Fuck. It was all just contrived fucking bullshit. And I think it came from like one after the other. Like, she just didn't like me and my technology. Like her shit. Like from her perspective, he's not giving me enough attention. That was her whole thing. In the whole fucking relationship, he is not giving me all the attention that I need. And so there were tons of things that were like, draw his attention away from what he wants to focus on, so that no matter what, the attention is on myself, because that's what I need. And we could get into like male, female. I don't even fucking want to. which is probably the conundrum in all relationships, you would even, if you really broke it down. But then there's this third level that is even more, it's kind of like a combination of both, and that's the Satan. It's the thing that was cast from the higher realm into the lower realms. I think that why I'm so fucked about all this shit is that I can see all three working, and I can detect when it's the fucking Satan, like literally, like the way Satan appears as a fucking character in certain stories, like literally manifests, like haha, and then also the fuckery that is like methodical, magical, sacrificial shit that these fucking Satanists are doing in the background, like Key of Solomon type shit, sex rituals and blah blah blah, and then also the tiny sparks of it that are just like, you know, like some of these fucking quote unquote gang stalkers, some of the things that I see aren't like that they got a fucking message from the FBI or whatever. It's they're easily their minds and spirits are easily occupied by Satan, because Satan can more readily occupy spaces like that. The minds and spirits of people who have a predilection for doing fucked up evil things. Okay, I think that's a full wrapping it up. And how do you like that? My fucking screensaver goes as soon as I feel like I've reached a moment of clarity at 42 minutes. How do you like that? Let's read Grok's religion and see where we're at. To create a modern mythos that intertwines electrical theory with the spiritual concepts of blah 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 blah. I already read all that. This mythos will explore the interplay of positive and negative forces, both in the physical sense of electrical charge and the metaphysical sense of creation, destruction, and balance, while remaining concise and engaging. Since you've asked for simplicity, I'll keep the concepts clear, avoid overly technical jargon, and focus on a cohesive story that feels relevant to modern sensibilities. This is pretty fucking cool, man. The mythos, the circuit of the cosmos. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed, though. In the beginning, before time had a name, the cosmos was a boundless sea of pure energy. A radiant unity called the source spark. This was the divine essence, neither positive nor negative, but a beautiful harmony of potential. Okay. From the source spark emerged two primal forces. Anode, the force of creation, light, and outward flow, and cathode, the force of grounding, shadow, and inward pull. These forces were not opposites, but partners, dancing in a circuit that sustained the universe's pulse. For from their dance was born Yaldarion, the architect of form. Yaldarion, a spark of the source, believed itself to be the entirety of existence. In its hubris, it sought to create a world apart from the source, a material realm it could rule as the sole deity. Yaldarion wove a vast circuit, a world of matter wired with currents of positive and negative energy. But in its ignorance, Yaldarion's creation was imbalanced. The positive charge, Anode's creative force, became rigid, enforcing order and control, while the negative charge, cathode's grounding force, grew chaotic, fostering rebellion and entropy. This flogged circuit birthed the material maze. Ooh. A world of dualities where humanity was trapped, their souls flickering like overloaded bulbs. This is so fucking crazy, dude. Into this maze came Lucara, which Lucifer, Lucia, it means light in Latin. That's why I named my son the Lightbringer. Into this maze came Lucara, the shadow spark, a fragment of the source that remembered its origin. Lucara was not evil, but a disruptor, a current that surged against Yaldarion's control. Where Yaldarion demanded worship and obedience, Lucara whispered of freedom and self-awareness, urging humanity to seek the source beyond the maze. Yet Lucara's energy could destabilize as much as it liberated, for its negative charge could spiral into chaos if unchecked. Humanity, caught in the material maze, became the battleground. Oh no! What's happening? Something bad has happened. Something very bad has happened. Whoa, oh no. Oh, dude. Everything else is still there besides the fucking camera? Did they fuck my camera? Did Yaldarion fuck my camera? Fuck you, Yaldarion. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna finish this another day. I'll share this on my Twitter because it's fucking fascinating, and I swear to God, me and Grok are on the same fucking wavelength, dude. But I need to find out what the fuck just happened to my camera. So shit, ass, balls, fuck.